It was the end of the day at school. I'm opening the door into my house, but my mind is somewhere else completely. Because that day at school, I just gotten back a math competition that I just finished, and I'm not even joking when I say this. I just put months of my life into just trying to do good on the thing. I spent hundreds of hours grinding at these practice papers, trying to actually improve, trying to get my brain to understand what I was doing. But when I got back my competition a few weeks later, I screwed up. But that's not even the worst part. As I'm opening the door into my home and I walk into the main hallway, I can hear my mom upstairs in the living room, and I know what's about to happen. I go upstairs and there she is, and she's up there with like the expectation, this facial expression of her wanting me to do good, her trying to get, she's anticipating good news. But when I tell her what mark I get on it, I see her face morph into this disgust, and I start getting yelled at. But it's not the same type of lecture that you get where she's like yelling and things. It's even worse. It's a type of lecture you get where she's just quiet. She's just telling you how much disappointment she has. So I'm stood there in the living room, genuinely holding back tears I'm getting yelled at. So I walk into my room after that. I sit down on my bed, but instead of relaxing and having a good day after school, it's the weekend. I put my face into my pillow and I cry. There's tears running down my eyes, and I just silently stay there for the next hour. And I told you that story right there, but how I screwed up that bad in school, because I know the pain that you're probably going through. If you clicked on this video, you're probably not satisfied with the things that are going on at school. You're not happy with the fact that you're putting in this effort. You truly want to do good. You have these expectations from your parents, from your teachers, and you still just screw up over and over. And I remember back in those days when I was in this terrible position. I wanted to get out of this mess that I was in. I wanted to get good grades. I wanted to really just impress my parents, but it never happened. And so I make this video right here because I want to give you, not like the clickbait, Asian studying advice with that little Asian girl in the middle of the thumbnail, like smiling with her A+. This video right here that I'm giving you is the guide, the definitive guide that I spent years of my life trying to get to. And in the last year and a half, I've been able to become the valedictorian of my school last year. And I was also able to get the highest grades in my entire school, in my entire grade this year as well. And so I know the advice that I'm going to give you in this video to get straight A's, to actually have a life outside of school. I know what I'm about to tell you works. So if you just give me 10 to 15 minutes of your time, I'm going to give you the step-by-step roadmap that I use to get these grades while not even sacrificing my life, my childhood. I only have to study an hour or two a day, yet I get better grades than most people I know. And so let's go on to the first step, but just get right into it. The first step 0 more like, of trying to get good grades is improving your mental health. And I know that sounds gay. You're like, wait, what the hell? This is a video on school. Why are you telling me to improve my mental health? You can't expect to have good grades. You can't expect for your brain to actually function when your mental health is fried, dude. And you might not understand what I'm saying right here, but just sit down here, just hear me out right now. During COVID, I basically screwed over my life. Right after COVID, back in 2023, like 7th and 8th grade, I had 0 good habits. I'm not even joking. I would literally wake up. I'd go to school in like this semi-depressed sort of haze. I'd come back home after getting fat shamed all day. I'd sit down on my desk. I'd load up Minecraft or Genshin Impact because I was a fat ass, right? And I'd be scrolling on YouTube shorts while I was playing video games. I'd be eating junk food. And I felt miserable, bro. But all those bad habits I had back then, all those things that were preventing me from getting good grades, from fixing my life, weren't actually the problem. You see, the bad habits that you have right now that are holding you back from getting straight A's, from improving your life, those actually aren't the problem. Those are symptoms of bad mental health. Because here's the thing. Those bad habits that you have, they don't even feel that fun to you now, right? And that's because you don't actually play video games or go on the hub or eat junk foods and scroll because it feels good, but because it gives you a way to cope with having bad mental health. It's like there's this void inside of you. It's like there's this parasite that's saying, I want more pleasure, I want more food, I want more junk food, I want more scrolling. But it doesn't actually lead to you being happy because it's bad mental health that is actually screwing your life up. So when I say right now that bad mental health is a reason for why your grades are probably screwed, you might say, no, bro, my mental health's fine, dude. It's not the problem. But if you haven't purposefully put in actual effort before this video into improving your mental health, I can guarantee your mental health is probably just as fried as mine was back during COVID. So how do we improve our mental health then? Well, first of all, you have to understand that the reason that your mental health is probably screwed is because you do these habits that actively make your future self's life worse. When you eat junk food, when you scroll, when you go on the hub, when you just play hours of video games, it doesn't improve future you's life. Oh, no, but I thought video games make me more creative. Dude, shut up. These habits you have right now are poisoning future you's life. So we need to do the opposite of that. If you want to have good mental health, if you want a brain that can actually function and get you straight A's, you need to instead do actions that'll make future you's life better. So I know this is the guide to getting straight A's, right? You want to get straight A's, you want to improve your life in total. Go get some sunlight right now. Pause the video, open the window, and get a minute of sunlight. Actually let the sun hit your face, no matter what you might say right now. You might be saying, oh no, this is stupid advice, I'll do it later. Pause the video and do it right now. If you want to actually improve, if you want to get any value from this video, you need to first improve your mental health. That is step 0 of this guide. Because you can't expect to have a functioning brain. You can't expect to actually sit there and study and do the hard work that'll get you straight A's when you're also getting this conflicting desire for going on the hub, for eating junk food, for scrolling. And so this is probably the most important part of this video. And I hope you just did the action step. I hope you got some sunlight when I told you to. And once you've actually improved your mental health, and I have a whole guide to this that I'm going to put in the description as well, that you can watch after this video. Once you've improved your mental health, now we can move on to the next step of this guide, which is, okay, how do you actually study? You might expect me now to give you like these advanced tips, like, oh, inject caffeine into your veins, do 20 minutes of meditation, do this breathing exercise, and you'll get focused in 3 seconds. But that wouldn't help you. I could give you, for the next 10 minutes, a bunch of advanced tips and tricks like the Asian influencer faggots that are giving you all that studying advice. But it wouldn't actually help you. Because your constraint right now, if you were to be honest, isn't that you don't have the most optimized study sessions. You literally just don't even study right now, right? It's not that you need to optimize. You just need to show up. That is your constraint right now. And so if we can literally just get you to the point where you're consistently studying and you're consistently doing the good habits for 20 minutes a day, 30 minutes a day, that would automatically set you up to get straight A's already, dude. So how do you actually get consistent then? Because I remember back during COVID, I knew what habits I needed to do. And you can probably relate to this. You know that you need to study, that you need to actually lock in, you need to go and work out. You have these habits that you know you need to do, but you still don't do them. Why is that? Why is it that we have these things that we know you need to do and you don't do? Well, you might think, and this is what I thought, you might think it was just a motivation issue. You thought it was just, okay, if I don't just jack off every day, then I'll be able to work out. That's not the case at all. You don't have a motivation issue. It's not that you have some blocker in your brain that's literally screwing you over and not letting you do the good habits. You lack clarity. What does that mean? Well, most people, when they tell themselves, this is what I used to do. I would tell myself at the start of the day, oh, I need to study more. Oh, shoot. And then I'd go on the hub. I'd go play some video games. I'd go watch some YouTube. I do everything except the habit I told myself I would do. Because when you just tell yourself, like, oh, I want to study more, or you're like, the New Year's resolution dude is like, oh yeah, I'm going to work out more. It's not specific enough. It really isn't. And that's probably what's screwing you over right now. When you tell yourself, I want to study more, you give your brain the opportunity to procrastinate. So here's how we fix this. Well, the way that I fixed this, the way that I actually improved my consistency, I was able to show up more, was I used this technique called setting an implementation intention. It sounds fancy. All you got to do, take a piece of paper out right now and write down on it, okay, at this time, I will study or I will work out or whatever habit you have to do. At this time, I will do that habit for this long. That's literally it. And you might say, wait, bro, that literally just takes 5 seconds. How's that going to help? But if you just imagine it right now, imagine 2 versions of you. Imagine the one version of you that just said, oh yeah, I want to study more. Is he really going to do it? Is he really going to set time out of his day? Is he going to resist the bad habits? Is he going to actually do the habit? Of course not. But instead, if you, for example, go ahead and tell yourself just this small, simple thing of just, oh, I'm going to work out at this time, you can imagine how much more likely you would actually follow through. If you just tell yourself, okay, I'm going to study in my room for 20 minutes from 4 o'clock to 4:30 or whatever. That is the easiest way. That is going to be the most easy way for you to go from studying 0 minutes to actually showing up. And if you just do that one thing, if you just write down on a piece of paper, okay, at this time I'm going to study for this long, you're going to be shocked at how you're actually doing the thing that you said you would. Now, the other major piece of advice that I would give you that I used to actually study consistently is you need to lower the difficulty level. Here's what I mean by this. If you've ever played like a video game where you have like a character, just imagine right now that you yourself are the character of this video game and you have all of these different skills. I want you to close your eyes and just imagine the studying skill. Imagine the level bar popping up in front of you. Is that level 100? Are you at the same level of a Harvard graduate? Where you're literally able to just sit down, turn your brain off, and just whip out some math and just do it for 8 hours straight? No, you're not. You aren't, right? So then why would you try and force yourself into this wishful thinking of, oh, I'm going to study for an hour every single day, even though it sounds like you could do it, even though you sound like, oh yeah, I could study for an hour a day, I could do it for 2 hours a day. There's nothing wrong with that. If you could actually study for that long, you would already be doing it. So what's my point? You need to lower the difficulty level to the point where you could actually study at that time consistently for just a few days. Because when you tell yourself, oh, I'm going to study for an hour a day, I'm going to quit all my addictions, that's the equivalent of you throwing yourself at like a 6'8" black guy in like a basketball court. You get screwed over, right? You wouldn't actually do good because the difficulty level is set too high. So, here's my action step for you right now. However long you said you were going to study just now, you said you're going to study for half an hour. So, divide that by 2. You're only going to study for 15 minutes, okay? However much time you might say you're going to do, you might say, oh, no, Atharv, I can do half an hour. Again, if you could, you already would be. So, turn off your brain right now and just listen to what I'm saying. Every time, even if you just study for 10 minutes a day, each day you do that, it's like you added 1 XP to your studying skill. So if you just study for 2 weeks consistently every day for just 10 minutes, that is still progress. Because then after those 2 weeks, you've leveled up. You can maybe do 20 minutes this time. Next time after 2 weeks, you can do 30 minutes, then an hour. The point is, you have to work your way up the difficulty level until you can actually study for as long as you want to. And until I realized this, until I just swallowed my ego, and I was like, okay, I'm just going to study for 10 minutes a day, even if it sounds just like a little bit, that's when I actually made progress, dude. So, here's a summary now. Take out a piece of paper and write down, okay, for this time, so let's say for 5 o'clock after school, I'm going to study for this long, at this location, and you're gonna make it a really small block. It's gonna be like the starter quest of a video game that you could literally do in just a couple of minutes. But over time, that's what's gonna let you actually make progress and stay consistent. Now, we've just gone over how to actually study. Now I'm gonna go over the next thing, which is probably the most important part. It's the mindset. Because what you might have seen all of these dudes try and make studying this dick measuring contest. I'm like, oh, I study for 4 hours a day. I study for 6 hours a day. I neglect spending time with my parents so I can study for an extra 20 minutes a day. You see all these people literally throwing away hours every single day into nothing but just this brain dead pursuit of just trying to study for more hours a day as if it's going to lead them to enlightenment. I think that is BS. You clicked on this video not just because you wanted straight A's, but because you wanted it while also having a life. And I've been able to accomplish that. I only really study like an hour a day or like 2 hours a day max when it comes to school itself. And I can do that because I understand this one mindset that genuinely just makes it seem so retarded that there's always people saying, oh, I study for 20 minutes a day, 20 hours a day. I study 40 hours a week. And here's the mindset. It's not about how many hours you put into this retarded pursuit of trying to study more, but the amount of focus you have. Let me just check if I have battery. Yeah, I do. Okay, hold it. Anyways, 1 hour of studying with 10 units of focus. So imagine like a level bar with this amount of focus. If you study for 1 hour with max focus, with 100%, all of your brain cells just directed towards studying, that is the equivalent of studying for 10 hours a day, but having like a gooning break every 20 minutes. Like literally just sat there scrolling while you're studying. It's the same exact thing. So don't try and just throw yourself at just trying to study for every single waking moment of the day, like these retards on YouTube telling you that you have to study for 8 hours a day or else you're going to fail your life. Instead, focus on trying to focus more, trying to actually put more of your attention towards the goal. And how do we do this? You have to improve your mental health. You have to improve your attention span. You have to get rid of these addictions that are sapping away your motivation and that are making it so much more hard for you to study. And that's why I put mental health as the first part of this guide, because until you improve your mental health, you can't study consistently. You can't add focus to your study sessions. Now, we've already gone over how to focus, how to study, the mindset that you need to actually get straight A's. Now I'm going to talk about something that's probably the most important part of this video as well. How to deal with screwing up when you're trying to get good grades. Because again, I've cried over grades before, dude. Like, it's honestly inhumane how much pressure the parents, the teachers have been putting on you to try and get good grades. And so I'm going to be the first person to put my hand on your shoulder and say, bro, it's not that big of a deal. If you screw up, if you get a lower number on that piece of paper that you wanted, dude, you're going to die anyways. And that sounds kind of weird, but bro, in a couple of years, maybe it'd be a couple of decades, maybe in 8 decades or 9 decades, however old you are, you're going to see the sun for the last time in your life. There's going to be a day where you see your mom and dad for the last time. There's going to be a day where you literally have to witness your own death. And I say this because so many of us get conflated with, oh my God, I need to study for this long. I need to study this much or else I'm going to die a failure. You're not. And I want to get close up to you for a second and say, like, dude, it is inhumane. It is pathetic how there's all these people trying to get you into this dick measuring contest of, oh, you need to study for this long every single day. You don't. If you follow the advice of this video, if you just focus, if you just put in consistent effort, if you just improve your mental health, you will get straight A's. But even I every now and then will screw up. But the solution to actually bouncing back, to deal with messing up when you have a bad grade, is simple. Just have a life outside of school, dude. Have these other things outside of school that you're pursuing. Get rid of video games. Level up in real life. Level up your fitness. Try and improve in losing fat. Try and improve your life in every other way. Go up to your mom and tell her how grateful you are for her. Hang out with your friends. Dude, I'm saying this and it sounds retarded. It sounds brain dead. You need to have a life outside of school if you also want to stay sane. Because if you want to look back and be like the faggot Asian kid who's like, oh yeah, I studied for 12 hours a day and I have erectile dysfunction and I don't really have any relationship with my parents, but hey, I have this piece of paper. That's cool, right? You don't want to be like them, right? So just take my word for it. Create a life outside of your school life. And if you do that, you're going to realize how pointless it was for you to worry all those hours about the test you're going to get back at the end of the week, dude. I hope this video has been helpful for you, dude. I hope that I've been able to add value to your life. At the bottom of the description of this video, first of all, I'm going to link the guide to improving your mental health because, again, it's the most overpowered part of this guide. But also, I've linked this link. It's called Calendly, and it's basically just a way for you to schedule time where you can just get some one-to-one coaching from me and things like fat loss, getting straight A's, improving your life, quitting your addictions, and just getting ahead as your teen. So if you want someone who you can relate to, if you want somebody who knows what it's like to go through the same trials, the same pain that you're probably going through right now, to help you along the way and to make faster progress, and go and get a free call right there. I literally just do it because I want to help younger people like me. I want to help people like younger me improve their life. And so I have nothing to sell you right now. Go and get a free 30-minute call if you want. As always, my name's Atharv. See you soon, bro.